Hi, I'm Chuck McDonald. I founded Chrysilla, which is a small business consulting firm, and I work with business owners on creating value over time, which allows them to build a legacy for themselves and the ones that they love. Today, it was suggested to me that a lot of business owners are dealing with a lot of uncertainty, to put it mildly. Obviously, there's a big change in the political and the economic environment, and I know this causes business owners to come or to want to pause and to sit back. And it's interesting. I was talking to my business school class the other day, and I said the hardest thing that a business owner has to do over the course of running their operation is to allocate capital. And when you don't know the rules of the game, how that capital will be treated, it can be a little bit of an unsettling time, and it causes people to just want to sit back. And so I was thinking about this, and I started to come up with a list of things that business owners can do in the face of all this uncertainty. And it's usually stuff it's pretty simple, but it's also things that will help you enhance value in your business over time when you are ready to take action. So I was thinking about this, from my time as a financial advisor, because anytime the markets would get a little bit squirrely, clients would tend to get a little bit of the deer in the headlights look. And so we always kind of went back to a few things that would help them see the future from a more long-term perspective. And that's what I'm trying to do for you today. So the first thing, educate yourself. Number one thing that you can do is educate yourself. YouTube, your local small business development center, there are tons of resources that are very, very inexpensive and even cheap. Or cheap, or even free. That's what I meant to say. Free or cheap, which is great in time of economic uncertainty. So much of this education is available online, and it's a great time to sit down and just spend, a couple hours a week looking up topics that you think you need to brush up on and understand more. It could be something with your finances. It could be something with your HR or your operations or some new technologies. There's a lot of online stuff about AI and how that can help your business. It is really brushing up on those topics is a great way, because when you get the knowledge that you feel like you might be missing, you feel more confident in making those business decisions. And again, very inexpensive or even free to find a lot of those resources. So seek them out. The second thing you can do, reduce risk. Look at your operation and start to think about contingencies. In particular, think about who the key people in your organization are. And one very, very simple thought exercise that you can do is to pretend that you are going to go on a 3-week vacation and you're going to be out of the country, completely unreachable, incognito. You are not going to pay a single shred of attention to what's going on back at the office. Think about the things that will fall apart and then target those as areas in your operation that need to be beefed up, either with education or with the right people. And then the other thing to think about is put yourself in a situation where you lose one of those key people. Then what happens to the operation? Key person insurance is a very, very big thing. Business interruption insurance is also something that's there. These are all things that actually can be evaluated and purchased. And even if you're not in a position to purchase this stuff, it's a great opportunity to look at that operation and start to figure out where the risks might be. Because then the good news is when business does get better, if you are in some sort of a lull, then that helps you prepare for that next wave up. it also tends to add value to your business, because what a potential acquirer of a business does not want is some sort of hidden risk or some sort of potential interruption that could be out there if a key person leaves or actually ends up passing away, or something ends up happening to them. And so by taking risk out of your business, you're actually enhancing value without actually having to do anything on the revenue side, which seems like a big win. The third thing to do: plan for the future. Start to look at the environmental landscape, or the environment that you play in. And, maybe you've got a competitor that might be not as good as you, but they have some assets. And, it could be some pie in the sky and out of the box thinking, pick your cliche. But recessions and economic downturns do cause problems for companies, and it doesn't have to be yours. It could be a competitor, maybe someone that's been a thorn in your side in the market that you play in for some time. What would an acquisition look like? And I'm not saying that you got to go out and run and do that, but looking at the marketplace and understanding your position in it can help you prepare for something. Because if an opportunity does come along, you don't want to, we're not suggesting that anybody's dancing on anyone's graves here. But if an opportunity does come along, it's nice to have had the luxury that you've already looked at the opportunity and maybe even started to evaluate it. So that's the third thing. Lastly, tie your customers and your suppliers to you as best you can. So I'm reminded of a story it was during the great financial crisis back in 2008 and 2009, and they were talking about it was the best time in the world to become a restaurant regular. And that ended up being true. And I remember near my office, there was a steak place that had opened, and me and a buddy went there for lunch. And it was right around 2009. And we ended up just, chatting it up with the staff and things like that. And when I ended up joining my team in 2009, we did a lot of celebration dinners or lunches and dinners there. And we would do some client entertaining and things like that. And it was a time, when obviously restaurants were struggling a little bit. And we ended up becoming regulars and had a great time supporting that business, to the point right now, and I don't even live in that city anymore, but if I am ever back there, that's the first place I go. And they really, really appreciate that. And every time we go, we get treated like gold. So you can do the same thing with your own suppliers and customers, because when times are tough, those are the people that will remember you, that you were there for them. And it doesn't have to be anything expensive. You don't have to throw parties, or you don't have to do a ton of client entertainment. But just doing the little things to show appreciation for their existence and helping you and your business can go a long way. Because I think a lot of people, once they get out of whatever economic struggles they may or may not be having through all of this, they'll remember you. And so being able to tie your customers and your suppliers to you like glue and have them remember you when times get better can be a very, very powerful thing to have in your back pocket. All right, so 4 things that you can do. Educate yourself, reduce your risk, look at the risks that are inherent to your business and understand what you can do to mitigate them. Plan for the future, look at that competitive landscape and see what opportunities might be out there. And finally, tie your customers and your suppliers to you like glue, and do the little things that will make them remember you. All right. And with that, I am Chuck McDonald. I'm founder of Priscilla. I do small business consulting and help businesses create value over time so they can build a legacy for themselves and the people that they love. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.